Well, this is kind of a sad day, kind of a happy day too. Getting rid of all these Camaros and F-bodies. Probably getting rid of this thing too. Loading the wrecked one up here. So, there's the rest of it. Been hiding in here forever. Still got this Trans Am too. So I've acquired these over the years. This wrecked one here was actually my second, but it was the first one of the ones that you see here. I had a white one when I was 19. Sold it to get a Cavalier. So I bought this one, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. And a few years back I wrecked it. Held on to it forever, not sure what I was doing with it, keeping it for parts. As you can see, I'm cleaning shit up around here. I'm tired of doing this shit. Mostly, well, really it's just one car at a time would be fine, but I'm also tired of these LT1's. They're just too damn problematic. Every single one I got is broke down. Actually I had this 6-speed one when I wrecked the purple one over there, I think. Shit, I can't remember. This one was really nice when I got it, and I always wanted a 6-speed. This other purple one over here, I made a video about it a long ass time ago. Bought it as a project to fix up. Missing a bunch of shit. Motor just kind of tossed back in there and everything needed to put it back together. Then the Trans Am here, I bought it on eBay, went and picked it up in Cleveland. No start. Believing it was the OptiSpark, replaced the OptiSpark, and it's still firing out of time. Hey, look at all this shit. Loading up the back of the Durango here. It's a whole bunch of car parts, throttle bodies, pulleys, alternators, starters. All kinds of shit buried in there. Some steel scrap. Most of that's car parts. This TA actually had pretty decent interior. We're just gonna sit in here and talk for a minute. So, I always like these cars, and it's one of the best performance, best bang for the buck. You know, you can pick them up for like 3 or 4 grand now. A pretty nice one, and you know, 150,000 miles or so. Runs good. It was the cheapest way to go that fast, cheapest way to get that close to 300 horsepower from the factory. The reason I've acquired most of these is because I had aspirations to open a car dealership, so I tried to get them and fix them up and sell them, but anyways, I'm just tired of working on these damn things. The LT1's are a pain in the ass, and I've literally spent like every single weekend for years just working on cars, not just these, but other cars as well. But it's time to let go. I'm getting rid of them all. I'm just going to start over. I might buy me an LS1 car next year, just one. So that one's getting scrapped because it's junk. This one I think I'm scrapping too. These cars are just not worth anything anymore. Used to be you could get $1,500 for one like this, broken down project car, whatever. Now you're lucky to get 5, so I might as well just take it to the damn scrapyard to save myself the hassle. This one, the damn distributor went. I replaced it. Ran freaking amazing, but within 10 minutes of idle time, consumed a gallon of coolant into the block. And no fog out the exhaust whatsoever. Runs absolutely perfect. So it's got to be a cracked block. I'm assuming detonation. When the Opti went, I tried to keep it going. Probably shouldn't have done that. Only made it about a mile spitting and sputtering, and then nothing. Replaced the Opti. Ran 100% better than it ever has. Coolant going to the block like crazy though. Trans Am. Fucking timing cover's got to come off, which means the oil pan's got to come off, which means you got to pull the motor, because you can't get the oil pan off without pulling the motor on those cars. So screw that. I'm selling that as is. Scrap. As is. No more. Huge loss for me. Thousands loss. But it's worth it for me not to have to invest any more of my time in these cars. Even though I've gotten rid of almost everything else. I had 12 cars. I'm down to like 6 or 7 right now. I'm so burnt out. I don't even want to turn a wrench on them anymore. This one still looks pretty nice, but the sad thing is, somebody will buy this as a project. I mean, it needs a battery, it needs a radiator, it needs radiator hoses, it needs electrical components. There's zero exhaust on it. All that shit it needs. Nobody's gonna buy this for very much and have to put, you know, over $1,000 into it without even any guarantee that the motor's okay. You know, nobody's gonna pay anything for it with it needing all that shit. So it's really, like I said, it looks nice sitting here, but with somebody, you know, you can buy one of these running for $3,000 that's in decent shape like this. Nobody's gonna pay more than a few $100 for this with all the money and time they need to put into it. So unfortunately, even though it's a really decent body, $500 is about max on these now for one that's, you know, not running or missing shit. It's got to be really, really nice to fetch more than that broken down. I think these parts are literally worth nothing anymore. The freaking intakes, I mean, I'm talking clean parts. You can't even get $50 for the intake manifold. You can't even get $50 a head cleaned up for a used head. The parts aren't worth shit because nobody's building them anymore because nobody wants them anymore. So unfortunately, these ones are pretty much just going to the grave like the older, shittier IROC styles are, because they're considered poo now. So that's the plan. Cutting my losses and getting out of this shit. And hopefully next year I will have one nice project car, a running project car. LS, maybe 350Z, K20 RSX, something like that. I'm really leaning towards getting one of these in LS. I really want a vet, but I don't know, we'll see. But that's what we're doing right now. Getting all this shit cleaned up out of here, getting rid of all these car parts I've been saving for years. I really wish that cat would shut up and get something fun to play with next year.